Hi, and welcome to Time with Natalie, the show that helps you to maximise your time and balance your life. What can you do to make a difference in your community, locally and globally? The importance of helping the lives of others brings such great rewards, not just to the community, but to you too. I am here now with Samir Singh from Arsenal in the Community. Hi, Samir.
Hello.
How are you today?
Good, yeah, good day. Lots of inspirational young people. So they're inspiring me. I think it's supposed to be the other way around. But.
Well, can you just share with the audience a little bit about what you do? Obviously, you work for the best football club in the world. And what is it exactly that you do at Arsenal?
So I work for Arsenal in the Community, which is the charitable CSR delivery arm, if you like, of the club. So we deliver community projects in and around Islington, Hackney and Camden. Those are our three boroughs. We do a bit near the training ground in Hertfordshire and some work abroad, but most of it's concentrated on those three boroughs, and a lot of work in the schools, across the estates, libraries, hospitals, a lot of work with disabled people, people with special needs, elderly people, across the board.
Okay, so it's quite a mix. It's not just like the younger generation or anything. It's quite a mix of people that you work with.
It is a mix. I think increasingly we'll start to do more with older people, just as people live longer, I think, and certainly in London there's a lot of isolated older people. The work we do is powerful and it attracts particularly young people because of their love for the club, and that's particularly something where an area where we can influence people. Younger people, they'll look up to the club and listen to us. But we of course we run programs for adults and, like I said, elderly people, but the vast majority is focused on younger people, especially the work we do in schools.
So can you just tell us a little bit more about what the actual project entails? So what specifically is it that you do?
Yeah, of course. So across sports we do what you'd expect a football club to be doing, which is going into local schools and delivering football sessions. Of course we do all that. It's beyond that with sport. It's not just football. We've got a multi-sport programme: judo, volleyball, badminton, table tennis. There's a dedicated programme for a girls football programme. But beyond the sort of your standard sport in schools, if you like, we work in all the special schools. We do football for young people who are visually impaired, deaf and hard of hearing, a project for children with Down syndrome. And some of the projects we do for adults, the football projects, we don't even, we call it, it's beyond sports. You know, the football's what gets them there, but it's the wraparound services. So we run projects for adults with mental health issues locally, adults with learning difficulties, and other projects for adults recovering from drug and alcohol addiction. One we're starting this week with the Homeless FA for adults who experiencing houselessness, and it's the wraparounds, it's the courses, the training, the links or the routes to education and employment. That's what's most important. So for the adult programs, we do football sessions for adults with mental health problems locally, adults with learning difficulties, adults recovering from drug and alcohol addiction, adults experiencing homelessness, houselessness. But it's not the football. The football what gets them there. We are more concerned, and we don't even worry about the football. That's not of interest to us. It's the wraparound services, links to education, employment, training, exit routes. It might be workshops on, it could be smoking cessation, it could be drug and alcohol awareness, it could be domestic violence, it could be any sort of workshop raising awareness.
So what have you noticed with regards to the difference that it makes, not just on the actual individual, but on, say, their family as a whole? Because I can imagine that it changes the individual, but in turn that then has an impact on their families.
I'm sure it does, and anecdotally, just knowing participants and knowing their families. I mean, I live locally. I've lived locally all my life, so I know a lot of people that have come through our programs. But it's not something that we look at and measure, I guess, the impact on the family side. I guess I couldn't sort of sit here I couldn't prove it to you. But the club is very much a big part of the local area, and we will have. It's now been going since 1985, almost 30 years. So we're getting to a stage now where people's children are going through schemes we run who had previously been participants, local people. So it's a long-standing scheme in the local area, and Arsenal plays a big role locally and is a big part of Islington.
Yeah, and not just locally, but I see globally as well. You're having an impact around the world. Could you just share with us a little bit about what you're doing internationally?
Of course, there's some work abroad, but the focus will always be the local area. But Arsenal is a club now with a global reach. So we've got various projects abroad. One we do with Save the Children. We do deliver projects across China with them. And we also have a gap year program that the community department runs, where we send coaches from London abroad to various charity projects that we're connected with. So it's a good thing. Similar projects here and abroad.
Fantastic. And if any of our viewers want to get involved in any of the projects that you're doing, what's the best way to get involved?
The best way is to have a look on our websites, the Arsenal community website. Most of the programs we run are connected to local providers, so they'll be with the local job centre or sixth form college or university. We also, like I mentioned, run the Gap Year programme, which takes on coaches to work in local schools and then charity projects abroad. So there's various ways of getting involved. It's all on the website.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for joining us. Love the work that you do. I'm obviously a huge fan of the club anyway, so we'll always support what they do. But specifically when it's something that has an impact on the community, locally and globally, I just think it's amazing. So, Samir, keep up the great work, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Now, you don't have to be as big as Arsenal Football Club to make a difference in your community. You can make a difference too. It's in those small things that have the big impact. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's show. Make sure you join in the discussion on my Facebook and Twitter pages. See you next week.